Greatness in education. There's greatness in learning. And there's greatness in our youth.
Hello, my name is Sean Hurt, the school turnaround specialist, and I am so excited that I have a new virtual platform that I'm bringing to schools and districts all around this world.
Mr. Hurt has brought greatness to his school, and for that, he has developed a platform.
We have some of the highest academic achievement within our county and within the state of Michigan.
Data doesn't lie.
This platform will help you to transform your school from good to great, and also it will make your school a reward school. I'm bringing strategies that will help you move that academic needle. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm passionate about educating the students. I'm passionate about getting teachers to the next level, and I'm passionate about schools just having high academic achievement. A couple of months ago, I got a letter in the mail from the state of Michigan, and they acknowledged that my school was a reward school. And I said, by all means, I want to bring this information to all of the schools all around the world. So please make sure that you check out my new virtual platform. It'll be coming soon, and I will be giving strategies on how to move that academic needle and make your school good.
So I believe that, if everybody say it can't get done, I'm like, yes it can, why not? I said, if these kids can't read, then I'm not gonna propose them. All this, mom, dad, I'm gonna look you in your face and say this kid can't read. We let them down. School, parents, we let them down, but I'm not gonna take them to the next grade knowing that they're not at grade level. It's funny because I'm always like, okay, how are schools successful? Well, schools are successful when they demand greatness. Greatness just doesn't come. We're about to make history. We're about to learn. We're about to grow. We're about to make history. And then, mark my words, it's going to be other school districts, other places around it that's going to be doing this thing. We're going to be the first model. And I'm speaking that into existence, okay?
Good evening. This is evening. Good evening, everyone. Sean Hurt with my Facebook Live podcast. Different day. I'm doing it a Sunday night because yesterday I had to attend my son. He had my kids had a basketball game, so I couldn't be on at my usual time on Saturday at 10. So I said, let me do it Sunday at 8 o'clock. So come on in and hit that share button. I said I want to make sure that I complete my NWA podcast. So for the next 35, 40 minutes, I'm doing part three of my NWA map. So if you are a school educator that uses NWEA, come on in, hit that share button. Hey, this is the last session. The last 2 weeks has been powerful. When I say powerful, it has been powerful. So I want to complete my session. So I need you to hit the share button and give me a few seconds as I get my Facebook and LinkedIn folks and Twitter folks in, and we're going to get started. I have a lot of time, so I'm going to make sure I complete it on tonight. Complete everything on tonight. So you still got time, and I need you to get your pencil paper out. Let me make sure I get all my people here. Come on in, and I have Ms. Matthews. Good evening, Ms. Matthews. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. I have Ms. Christina. Thank you for joining me. Ms. Bell, thank you. Thank you very much. And we're going to wait a couple more minutes. We get more people to come on in. I want to make sure different time, but I have to get that information out. The information has to get out to the people. So I want to make sure I get that out. And I need everybody, do me a favor, hit that share button. Hit that share button and go ahead and give me some likes. Make sure you go ahead and give me all of the likes and everything else. I want to share it to a couple of my friends. Stay with me, everybody. All right. Yes. Good morning. What is NWA? I know I want, yes, Larry King. That is an assessment that schools all over the world will use. So once again, I'm here to give out that information. All right. 30 more seconds and we're going to go ahead and jump in it. I want to get all of my folks. We make sure we got all my folks. And like I said, hit that share button. I want everyone to hit that share button. All right, I think that we're set. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Sean Hurt, and I'm the school turnaround principal. And I am here with part three of the NWEA assessment, where we have millions of schools that use it. Usually, I'm doing on a Saturday at 10 o'clock. Like I said, I have my kids at a basketball game, so family comes first. So I said I'm going to make sure I finish up the podcast. I make sure I finish up this part three. So this is what we're doing. So before I get started, I need you to first couple of things: get something to write with, get pencil paper out, get notebook out. I got my notes ready to go. Okay, you still got time to hit that share button. So I know there's many people out there that need this information. No excuses for us not having this information. The last 2 weeks, I've had over hundreds of people that have asked questions, responded, want to know more information. So that's why I'm here. So let's go over some housekeeping notes. We're going to jump in it. Is that make sure you attend. We have the Black Educators Rock Conference coming up next week. That's July the 13th through the 16th in Jacksonville, Florida. So you still have time to register. And someone said, Mr. Hurt, is it just for only Black educators? No. What it is that if you are an educator and you work with inner city schools, if you are an educator, you work with rural schools, if you are an educator and you just want to know how to be able to have a better classroom, better school, better district, you must come to this conference. We have some of the top educators in the world that will be presenting. Yours truly will be presenting on Saturday. The title of my lesson is that your first classroom as a principal should be the classroom. The first thing that you should do as a principal, you should be in the classroom looking at the students. It's going to be a powerful session. And also, I will take time out of my day to be able to go here and work with schools and districts. If you have data questions about moving the needle, that will be me. Also, 2 weeks after that, I will be in Tucson, Arizona, working with the Tucson School District. I am bringing it, so I'm excited regarding that. And then in August, my calendar is full. So I just want to let you guys know I still have room for my professional development. Some people said, do you work with schools? Yes, I work with schools all over the world. We really do a lot of powerful things. So that's the work I'm doing for this year. And I still have openings for schools. I'm looking to transform schools all over the world. And the last thing is that make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need you to subscribe. So all of my Facebook Lives, videos, and things of that nature on my YouTube. So make sure you go to my YouTube and subscribe. Just type in Sean Hurt and you see it, and you'll see all of my videos for the last couple of years on there. Okay. So now we're going to get started. All right. Yes. So we're going to get started. Let me get some water, and I want to make sure that we got everything, everybody. Hold on. Let's go ahead. Got everybody in. Okay. And we're going to go slow. And now I'm going to go PowerPoint style. So let me go to the PowerPoint. And I got my notes ready to go. So I want to make sure that everything is connected. All right, we're all set. Let me go to the slideshow so you can see we're on current slide. So, all right, everybody's good. Go ahead and give me a yes. I want everybody to put in the chat, yes, I can hear you and see you. Put in the chat, yes, I can hear you and see you. Just put in the chat, yes, I can hear you and see you, Mr. I'm waiting. So I got people in the chat. I want to make sure that everybody is good. So I don't want to rush through this. So just put in the chat, yes, Hurt, we can see you and we can hear you. All right. Good. Okay. All right. Yes, okay. Thank you very much. Yes, okay, good. So now, last week, I've been over a lot of PowerPoint, so I just want to talk about The NWA and what it's about. First of all, this is an assessment that many school districts use all over the world. And this assessment is connected with your state assessment. So what I've been saying is that if you are able to move your district assessment, which is this, then you will have a direct impact on your state assessment. The reason why schools are not moving the academic needle, the reason why districts are not moving, because they're not using this to the full event. Okay. I'm not going to rehash what I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. Go ahead and watch the videos. But I talked about some of the good things that can take place. So last week we left off on a thing called the linking study. That is LINKING study. Okay. And a linking study will tell you exactly where you need to be at on the NWEA and how it relates to your state assessment. So right here, this is Georgia's Lincoln study, and you can see if you because you have Michigan, Georgia, Ohio, Florida, California, they all have Lincoln studies, and it sort of mirrors what your state assessment is talking about. So now, what this is saying is that it will tell you if you're taking a state assessment, it will actually tell you where percentile and what level you need to be at. And at the end of the year, based on NWA, and it has direct impact on the state assessment. So, for example, listen, follow me. For example, let's look at third grade. If I'm in Georgia and I want my kids to be at a level 4, that means their percentile ranking at the end of the year should be between the 89 and the 99, or RIT score. That's RIT. You see it between 217 and 350 for third grade. Fourth grade, we see it fifth and whatever. So that's level 4. Level 3 is between 68 and 88 percentile, 206 and 216. Level 2, so forth and so on. Why is this important? Is because remember I talked about is that the kids in the beginning of the year in August, September, all 500 of your kids will take the NWA assessment, and they will have a RIT score and a RIT score and a percentile ranking. So if I know where the kids are coming in at, so let's for example, if I got a kid in a third grade for reading that's at a percentile ranking in third grade at a 65, well, that'll be at a level 2, but we call those kids a bubble kid because they're 3 percentile rankings becoming a level 3. Well, level 3, according to Georgia, is proficient, and so you'll be proficient. So it will behoove you as the principal, as the teacher, as the school district to say, let's set goals for this kid. So we're not going to wait to the end of the year to get the kid at level 3 when we take the test in January. When we take the test in January, in the middle of the year, then we will be able to get a percentile to say, hey, Raheem went from a 65th percentile to a 70th percentile. If Raheem took my state test in January, there is a good chance, an 80% chance, that Raheem will be at a level 3 on the Georgia state test. I'm gonna say that again. It will show you that Raheem has a good chance of being proficient on the state test if we can move him based on the Lincoln study right here. So why do we have to guess? Why do we have to try to figure things out? Everything is right here in front of us. Everything is right here in front of us. So we will know at the beginning of the year how many kids might be proficient, how many kids, on the bubble. It says it right here. It says it right here. You see how important that is? It has it right here. All right. So that is the Lincoln study. If you don't do nothing else, I want you tonight or tomorrow morning when you go into your office, look up NWA Growth Lincoln Study for your state, and it will show it to you. It will show it to you. You asked the question, Mr. Hurt, why are schools, and I'm trying to look at comments, people are leaving comments left or right. Why are schools not being proficient? The reason why is because we don't have the right tools. We don't have the right information in front of us. There's no reason why schools all across the world should not grow in proficiency 8 to 10 points at the end of the year when you got the right tools. I'm giving you the answers to the test right here. All right. So let's go to the next one. When I'm telling teachers, when I'm telling school districts all over the world, is that you must have school goals from fall to spring. I'm going to say this again. You must set school goals from fall to spring. Okay. Now, those goals have to be based on what your district scores is saying. All right. So, what we're doing, we can look at this right here. So, what I am saying is that you must set goals from fall to winter for every student in your class, every student in your school, and those goals must increase. So, add 4 to 5 percentage points to those goals. So, for example, if Raheem has a RIT score of 170 in the beginning of the year, and NWA said his goal is 175, let him increase that to about 179, add 4 points. Why is that? Because you do not want you want a kid to have growth, but also you want the kid to be able to be online for proficiency. So if you are able to not only meet NWA's goals for the wintertime, but 3 or 4 more points, then by the end of the year, you will see that kid will not only meet their 1 year's worth of growth, but also they will increase that more by the end of the year. They will increase that. Does that make sense? So now, in the beginning of the year, you're setting student goals from fall to winter. And then on top of that, you are setting grade level and classroom goals. So look at this. What we did was that we had this is a first grade teacher, second grade teacher. BOY means beginning of the year. MOY is middle of the year. So what we did was that we took their RIT score, average RIT score for that classroom, and then we had a goal that we set for the middle of the year. So for Miss Hardy, look at it. For reading, the BOY was 157. That's the beginning of the year. And then we said we want them to have a 171 by the middle of the year. Why did we do that? Is because in order for us, and I'm gonna talk about this, called progress monitoring, you must set goals. A lot of times schools say we want to increase, but there's no goals that we're setting. We're not setting any goals. So now we're just teaching to teach. Schools are doing what they're doing, but there is no goals being set. These goals that we are setting has direct impact on your state scores, on your student achievement. If we reach our middle of the year goals, that means the kids in the classroom in the 8th grade, 5th grade, high school, that means they are improving. I'm going to say this again. That means that they are improving based on the goals that they're setting. And remember, NWEA has a direct link to the state test. So if they're moving in NWA, when they see it on the state test, they will you will have more kids that will be proficient. Oh my God. Hit that share button. Let me know if this is sounding good. Leave a comment. I need comments. Remember, I am here to I'm here to give you information that will help you move your school. Will help you move your school. There's no need to ask questions. How do we do this? There's no need. There's many schools on a priority list. That should not be on there. There's many schools that have low report card grades. There's no need for you to have that when you have this information, at your palm. The listen, your state is judging you by your state scores. That's it. Not about how nice you are, not about how many birthday parties you have and whatever else it may be. Not saying that's not right. We want you to be nice. We want you to have birthday parties. But at the end of the day, those 800 kids have to pass the state test. No matter if you like it or don't. I'm not here to talk about that. This is going to help you out. All right. Okay. Yes. These comments are flowing in. Yes, sir. You are correct. Yes. That's why it's important. That's why I'm taking my time. Okay. Someone to ask Ms. Leah. I am. Please put questions on here so I can answer them. I'm going slow. I'm going to be on here for another 20 minutes. When you set goals, how do you know what exactly needs to be done to gain 14 points? That's a good question. So what you do is this. There's a thing called the student profile. So when the kids take the test in August, September, the student profile will show you, okay, what their goal should be for the winter time. What I am saying is to add 4 or 5 more points to whatever NWA is saying, because a lot of times they're not looking at proficiency, they're just looking at growth. They're saying, okay, all the kids in the nation that came in at a 130, they usually grow 5 or 6, whatever that is. You want to have growth, but then you also have to go from growth to proficiency. Yes. Yes. All right. So now we're setting student goals, we're setting classroom goals and grade level goals, and we're setting school goals. Once again, these goals that we set have a direct impact on your state test. If you're not doing this, there's a highly likelihood that your scores will go down if you're not doing this. Think about it. You've been doing the same thing for 10 to 15 years and you begin the same results. I have been doing this, what I've been doing with all of the schools I've been a principal of, and we've had tremendous results. I talked about it before. We had some of the highest scores, listen to what I'm saying, in the nation. My school, Detroit, Michigan, the nation, on NWEA, and then it had direct impact on our state test. And then this past year, I worked with 8 schools all around the world: North Carolina, Florida, Ohio, you name it. And all 8 of the schools that I've worked with personally, with the principals and the leadership team and teachers, they not only was their NWA score some of the highest in the district, but also with that, their state scores increased tremendously. I'm gonna say this again. Not only with that, their state scores increased tremendously. And I got to get a big I want to give a big shout out to my friend Anthony Green. He's watching it. I have his son's shirt on. Pace yourself. So hey, I support everybody. So I just want to give a big shout out to my friend Anthony Green and his son who's doing a big thing. All right. All right. All right, we all set. So this is another example. Look, I'm giving you examples. A student goal right here. Look, we put it on the desk. We had a math goal. Math was 169. We want this kid to go to 189. Reading 176, 191. We had on the desk. Visuals are important. Visuals are important for you to see. Visuals are important for you to see. Look at it. Look. You only got to think about it. Look, I'm giving you every example possible. Why recreate the wheel when I've done it? Do you really want your school to move? Do you really want to have a high achieving school? There's no need to recreate the wheel. I got it for you right here. That's why I'm saying, yeah, you need to, yes, this is what you need to do. If you need to watch this over and over again, do this. I'm giving you examples. Do not do anything different. Just do what I have right here. Look at these pictures and just do it. Like Nike say, just do it. All right. Okay. Next thing is this. We talked about it. All right, Hurt. What do I do in September, from September to January? What do I teach? Many districts have curriculum maps that they already have. NWEA has a thing called a learning continuum. These 4 areas in math, look: operation, algebra, thinking, numbers and operation, measurement, geometry. These 4 areas are the same areas that your state will test the kids on. I'm going to say this again. These are the 4 areas. Write it down, y'all. Write it down. These are the 4 areas that your state test is on. So why would I go out and do anything else when now it is not called teaching to the test? Do not think like that. Please don't. is not teaching to the test. What you're doing is that the learning continuum will show you the particular standards that you need to focus on for the next 12 to 15 weeks. So it's sort of like going to the gym. If I go to the gym and I need to work on my legs because my legs are not strong, why am I going to the gym and doing curls? Why? Why? Why am I focusing on my strengths when I need to be focused on my area of improvement? Why am I teaching? This is what I had to do. I'm passionate about this. Well, I had to know what my kids did not know. So I had to say, which standards do we need to focus on? Because these same standards will be given on the state test. So why would I wait to March, April to try and I'm gonna talk about it, to try to cover these standards when NWA is saying to me in September that these are the standards that you need to cover? Well, what I find it at hurt is on the learning continuum. Right here, look, it's right here. It is right here. Look. So for example, they're telling me right here, these are the standards they're saying hurt. These standards right here, fifth grade standards, this Ohio, these standards right here are the focus area for the fifth grade for this particular domain. You got it right there. So if I'm in summer school and I know summer school starting, why am I trying to figure things out when I can go ahead and in the next 2 weeks, I could focus on this standard for 1 week or 2 weeks right here. Parentheses, brackets, and brace and numerical expressions and right here. And then I could go ahead and focus on this other standard. So for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I have the standards that I need to focus on. And then on the right, I banked it out because of FERPA. But these are the students in the classroom that they say that will benefit from these standards. So now, if I have this and I got 15, 18 standards that I know that my kids could benefit from, why wouldn't I cover that for the next 12 to 15 weeks? I'm going to say this again. Why would I not cover that for the next 12 and 15 weeks? Is right here, the learning continuum. Come on in and hit that share button. Listen, after I get off, you need to inbox me and say, Hurt, come to my school. Let's do some one-on-one. Let's do virtual. 3 people yesterday inboxed me and they said, Hurt, I want you to come and do a PD with my staff because what you're saying sounds good. We've been in this rut for 5 or 6 years. I'm a new principal. I'm a coach. I'm a superintendent. We need somebody to break it down and to be able to break it down to a point that it makes sense, that is simple and it's making sense. Come on now. Look right here. Yep. Make sure you hit that share button. Listen, I'm feeling good. This is some good information. Somebody said Hurt. What's the next thing? The next thing, this is called the student profile. You ask the question. You say, well, where do I get it from? Right here, the student profile. I got people coming in. Hold on, give me a second. I told you I am going slow with this. I'm going slow. Hold on for 1 second. I want to make sure I got everybody in. They trying to come in. It is not too late. Hit that share button. It's not too late. Dr. Jeter, good morning. Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Jeter, my good friend. Dr. Jeter. It's a Sunday night. I have my kids' basketball game yesterday. So I said I got to do part 3 on Sunday night. So this right here is called a student profile. So let me break it down. Woo! Let me break it down. Yes. So now every kid in your school has a student profile. So this is a kid's student profile. So let's go right here. They're saying for reading, this kid is at the 95th percentile. So they're in blue. So this is a high kid. In Michigan, the state test is called the M-STEP. Everybody. So if you are in Florida, Georgia, Dr. Jeter, where are you from? I forgot, Dr. Jeter. Could you tell me what state you're from? Could you just put in the chat? Dr. Jeter, put in the chat for me because I want to give you some love because you support me so much. Dr. Jeter, put in the chat. Tell me what state you're in. All right. So whatever state you're in right here, it's going to tell you where the kid will be on your state test. So they're saying that this kid will be advanced. Okay, that's good. If they took the ACT, they're saying that this kid would be on track for a 24 or higher. Look, she in Illinois, Doc in Illinois. So they listen. I'm working with schools in Illinois. They're going to have the same thing. In Illinois, they're going to have the same thing. And then this kid is on track for the SAT. But this is where I want to show you. Look at me. I got to break it down. Even though that this kid is high, this kid still has a area of focus. Listen, in Illinois, I'm talking to Dr. Jeter. We're going to act like this, me and you, Dr. Jeter. In Illinois, these are the areas that they have to take. These are the areas, the focus areas on the fifth, I think in fifth grade for the state test. So now, if the kid is high, where do I still focus on? So look, this right here is called the RIT score. These are the RIT scores right here, okay? These are the RIT scores. Now, even though they're high, 95th percentile is still area of focus. So informational text, key ideas, and details. This is, look, it says right here, suggested area of focus. Suggested area of focus. Oh, Dr. Lynn in the house. My good friend, Dr. Lynn, how are you doing? Dr. Lynn is another school that's doing the NWA. In the last few years, she's been knocking it out. I worked with her school. She's taken to a whole nother level. So everything I'm telling you, Dr. Lynn is doing it. Her score is going through the roof. Much love to Dr. Lynn. But listen, look at it. It's saying the suggested area of focus. So if I have this kid in my classroom when I'm doing tier 2, tier 3 instruction, I am going to this right here because I need for this kid to work on this right here. Why do they need to work on informational text? That's a 250. This is the area of focus. So when I'm doing tier 2, tier 3, breaking them small groups, this kid needs to be on the computer or whatever that you have working on this. So if I went and clicked on here, it will show you the particular standards that this kid got to work on. Come on now, how easy is this? How easy is this? So now in your school, now those high kids that's coming in blue at the 95th percentile, they're not regressing, they're even going up higher, 96, 97, 98, because it is hard for a fifth grade teacher to teach at an 8th or 9th grade level. This kid is called, we call it gifted and talented. Gifted and talented. We call it gifted and talented. So now we're addressing our gifted and talented students. The same thing if we're addressing our bubble kids. So why are we giving kids information that is not helping to move the needle? Why are we doing that? Go to student profile and there you go. And then you ask the question, Hurt, where do we get our goals from? Look, on the right side, winter 2021 goal. The actual was 240. The goal was 225 score when set. So they start off at 220, at 222. Follow me very closely. Their goal was 225, right? We see it. They actually did it 240. So remember, this teacher, it was a school I worked with. They set goals that was more than what NWA had because they want to make sure that the kids are also growing and also being proficient. This kid is already proficient, but we want to take a kid to the next level. It is not their fault, the parents' fault, if they got a smart kid. But if I'm bringing you a smart kid, I don't want that kid to stay the same and stay stagnant. I want that kid to improve. Student profile. Listen, you will leave from here, from this podcast. I got about 15 minutes. Stay with me with the answers to the test. No need to try to figure out. No need to do that. Hey, I'm giving you everything that you need. All right. And remember, if you want to see part 1 and part 2, go to my YouTube page and subscribe. You get all of my videos. You get everything that I'm doing. All right. Hit that subscription. And then, like I said, I've been doing this for the last 3 years. I'm working with schools. All right. I'm excited. All right. Next thing you say, Hurt, man, you got all the, yes, this is what you have in your fingertips. This is called a summary quadrant chart. So if I am a principal, a teacher, I need to know how much growth that I am making from fall to winter, from fall to spring, winters, whatever it may be. This will show you. They have the kids. So this is look, it's real simple. This pink is low achievement, low growth. Right here is low achievement, high growth, green, high achievement, high growth, and yellow is high achievement, low growth. So this tells me, so if I want to click on the right side, I can see the kids in math and reading, male and female, who the students are, and the whole 9 yards. So what it would take me hours and hours to do, it would take me 30 seconds. So instead of me working, so I'm working smart and not harder. All right. But this is what it does. It has all of my students, fourth grade, all of my students, and look at it. It has the fall scores, grit score, achievement percentile, and what they did in the winter. Okay. Then it has everything else. So did the kid meet their projected growth? Is either yes or no. So this first kid met it. This first kid came in at the 23rd percentile, fourth grader. And then by the winter, they were at the 58th percentile. Follow me very closely. NWEA said their projected growth was supposed to be 7 RIT scores. Listen. You got to get this. NWA said the projected growth was supposed to be 7. If we did what NWA did, yes, they would meet the projected growth, but they would not have grown that much. This particular student did 20, grew 20. So they went from a 189 to 209. So now they are on track when they take the state test in the fourth grade. There is a good chance that kid will be proficient on the state test. I'm going to say this again, there's a good chance that kid will be proficient on the state test. And let me go ahead and drop something else to you. Look. At the far end, it says conditional growth percentile. What they do, they put all of the kids that came in at a 189 in a fourth grade, and they put them all in one bucket, and they say, where did the kid grow compared to other kids? So this kid grew at a 99th percentile. So there was no other kid in the nation who had more growth than this kid in the fourth grade in this subject area coming out at 189. Why are we not, listen, schools all over the world, why are we not doing this? Why? And then not only I have coaches, basketball coaches, football coaches on here. Listen, you try and get your kids to college. You can see if a kid, I had it, is the kid going to be a 24 on the ACT or SAT? It has it right here. So why aren't we using this to be able to examine the students, examine the kids, examine are we moving the needle? What are we doing working and everything else like that? This is giving you all of this information that you can have. All this information. Go ahead and hit that share button. I got about 10 more minutes. Stay with me. 10 more minutes and I'm done. 10 more minutes, I'm done. But I need you to hit that share button. Hit that share button. Leave some comments. Let me know. Say, Hurt, this is some good stuff. Let me know if the information that I'm giving you is good. I need some feedback. Give me some feedback, y'all. Give me some feedback. Say, Hurt, this is some good stuff. Let me know if I'm connecting with you. Go ahead and give me some emojis. Give me some feedback. Give me some hearts. Come on now, talk to me. This is important. Last part is this. Summary data by subject area. This is telling me at the bottom how much growth I had to percent of the students. So right here, this is saying that 78% of my students met or exceeded their mid-year growth targets. Usually you want to be at 60 or higher. So they did a good job. This is telling me that 123, that means that overall for math, they are on pace. They're on pace. This is where we get the growth at. They're on pace for 1.2 years worth of growth in math. They're on for 1.2 worth of growth in math. Reading. So how do we get to 78? 11 divided by 14 gives me 78. So usually you're supposed to do a year's worth of growth. I'm in the 8th grade. I'm supposed to grow a year. All of my kids on average. But then if my kids are 2 or 3 years behind, I, I have to close this gap. I have to close this gap. So now I can't just do a year because they're going to still be low. They're going to still be behind. So that extra 2 months means a big deal. I'm closing the gap. I'm closing the gap. The same thing with this right here. I'm closing the gap. I'm closing the gap. So now, as a principal, as a person that's over, when I'm doing my end of the year evaluation, my mid of the year evaluation, to me, this should be 80% of my 80% of the teacher evaluation because it takes emotions out. It takes I like you, I don't like you. It takes all of that out. And even with the proficiency, it doesn't even equate to proficiency. Are you growing the kids? Are you growing the kids? Because what we're supposed to be doing, what we're teaching, how we have our classroom set up, everything else is supposed to lead to the kids growing in your classroom. And a lot of times we're not having these discussions during our POCs, during our data meetings. When I was the principal at the end of the year, I would bring the data to my superintendent and say, I want you to judge me by the growth of the kids. Did I make my growth targets? Did 60% of my kids in my school grow? This has it right here. And then this is the thing that I've been saying to I'm blue in the face. If I am doing this, it's going to have a direct impact on my state assessment. So consequently, when I take my state test at the end of the year, I know for a fact that my kids will pass the state test because this right here is showing me that they're moving in the right direction. It's sort of like playing basketball. If I'm scrimmaging and I'm doing good in my scrimmages, I know that when it comes to the real games, we're gonna do good. We're gonna win. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Dr. Jeter. Say some good information. Yes, yes. Thank you, Mrs. Kincaid. This is some great information. Yes, yes, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm like, we don't have to try to figure this out. It's right here. Let's share it. Why are we trying year after year? We trying to figure it out. Hey, I'm giving you the answer to the test. All right. So this is the last thing. This is what I did is that also now we need to set up action because now we got to say, okay, how do we, how are we going to progress monitor this? So what we did was this for 12 weeks at my school, we unpacked the standards that we knew that we would need to focus on. So, and we put them down. So my 4th grade, 5th, 7th, 8th grade, this is what we're going to be teaching for the next 12 weeks because it had a direct impact on where our focus area was at. So you can see it right here, focus stats. So I'm going through, yeah. So I'm gonna go slow. I'm gonna go slow. So this is November the 20th to the 27th. So you see, we have the domain focus. So we have math for reading. Look at it, everybody. Look at it. I'm going slow. I'm going slow. Look, now we got December. So I actually broke it down to the next testing cycle. You see? And then what we did was this. We said, okay, we need to start to have our assessments that we're taking every week, every 2 weeks. They need to measure, they need to be identical to what the NWA is saying and what our state is saying. So we started to create our own assessments, and the assessments was so important because I needed to know if the kids got it or not. It wasn't the thing that my teacher was teaching. That's good, but I need to be able to sit them down on a Friday and say, okay, I have 500 kids in my school. I need to know based on an assessment, not a quick check for understanding, not a quick whatever, but we're going to sit them down. They're going to take an assessment, and I need to know how many kids are getting this information. It wasn't a thing that I got upset at the teacher say they was good or whatever, but we needed the data because the data that we were sharing at our data meetings on Mondays, our POC was real live data. So if we need to readjust our teaching, if we need to cover the standard again, whatever we needed, we had a data to support it. And what the beautiful thing about it was that this was, in order for us to do this, we knew that when they saw it again, I'm gonna say this again, when they saw it again, that we knew that they were going to get it because we was able to make the tweaks, the corrections. So imagine each standard that you're teaching, you doing this for 32 weeks. So I had, as a principal, I had all of my standards, 32 standards, and every grade level, I knew exactly how many kids were proficient on this particular standard. So when it was time for, we called it the real live game, we were scrimmaging. When it's time for the real live game, boom, we had it right there. We call it short cycle assessments. Short cycle assessments. So I'm going to stop right here. This is my information right here. So give me, I got 2 more minutes. All right. So let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. All right. Cool. So I just want to kind of recap is that I did part 1, part 2, part 3 for the last 3 weeks. All right. This is something that I will recommend that you look at over and over again, share it with your staff. Okay. I do not work for NWA, but I've been blessed to be able to use their tools to be able to open it up and help schools and things of that nature. So I'm gonna give that disclaimer. If you would like for me to come out to your school and district, inbox me. Inbox me. I'm only accepting 4 more schools. I got about 7 to 8 schools I'm working with so far. I want to get my thing to be about 11 or 12, and I'm stopping. Okay. I am doing face-to-face PDs. I'm doing virtual PDs, not only on NWA, but classroom management. I'm working with principals. I'm working with APs. You know, you name it. I've been in education for 23 years, so this is the work that I do. This is the work that I do, okay? The last thing is that if you cannot bring me in, hold on, let me show you my book. I gotta, here, go right here. Make sure you pick up my book now. Pick it up from my website. Pick it up from my website. Please, you know, because everything I talk about is in my book, How to Transform Your Inner City School and Raise Student Achievement. All right. So make sure you pick it up from my website. That is shurtschoolturnaroundspecialist.com. shurtschoolturnaroundspecialist.com. And I would like to say thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, my faithful people. I'm not going to start naming names, but you know who you are. This is what I do. This is the work I do. I want educators all over the world to be successful. I know that we can help move this needle. So, hey, I will be on next Saturday. No, I'm be in Jacksonville, Florida for the Black Educators Rock Conference. So I'm going to go live from Jacksonville, Florida. My section is going to be dynamic. So if you want to come and see me in Jacksonville, hey, drive on down. Have some of my Florida friends. Hey, you can still attend a conference. They still have room for you. And once again, go to my YouTube page, subscribe, hit that subscription page, subscribe to my YouTube page, Sean Hurt. Next week, I'll be on Saturday at 10 o'clock. I want you to bring a friend with you. Bring a friend. Come on, bring a friend. Let's make this big. Hey, like I said, I'm just here to help. So thank you very much. Let's have a good week. And just remember, be the school that you want your school to become. Be the school that you want your school to become. You can achieve greatness. You can achieve greatness. Don't worry about what you've done in the past. Look at my videos. Look at things on my Facebook and LinkedIn page. I'm putting it out there for free. But more importantly, if you need me to come and help you out, inbox me. I'm there. Thank you. I'll see you next week.